Well, hello. I'm, I don't know. I'm Dax. I'm a press correspondent for the encampment here. You gotta give me a question. I can answer a question.
Oh, okay. Obviously, you're in solidarity with the people of Palestine.
Yes.
Obviously, you're seeing the U.S. government is not in solidarity with the people of Palestine.
More than that, I think the U.S. government, in many ways, is an architect of their oppression. I think that if the U.S. government were not backing Israel financially and militarily, Israel would collapse in a day.
Ah.
I don't believe that the state of Israel exists, except as a foothold of a world economic system of imperialism.
Good way to put it. Well, let me put to you a question. What do you think would happen to the U.S. ability to support the Zionist state if California were no longer part of the U.S.?
Well, I suppose it would concern me less because I would no longer be a U.S. citizen.
Ah.
I don't know. I don't think it would change much. I think the character of the U.S. government would still be an imperialistic character. And this is sort of the thing we're trying to challenge.
Uh-huh. As are we. Let me give you a couple of examples. When the most powerful locomotive is uncoupled from a train, what happens to that train?
It stops moving.
What happened when Russia left the Soviet Union?
Well, the Soviet Union collapsed, but that's more complicated than that because the dissolution of the Soviet Union was a three-way treaty between the three largest republics, not just Russia, but also Belarus and Ukraine.
And Kazakhstan.
Yes.
And once they were out, whoop, okay. And then CIA tricks them into two of those republics into going to war against one another.
That's
yeah?
about right.
What do you think would happen to the ability, not the desire, but the ability of the U.S. to keep supporting Zionism if they no longer had our economy to tap into?
I see what you're suggesting. I really don't know. You know, this is a kind of numerical question. I'm not sure. California is not the only big economic base in America, right? I mean, a lot of money is made in New York, for instance, and for that matter, in semi-colonies, right? A huge amount of money is made by U.S. companies in the Congo.
Yes.
Which is
for these lovely
California.
phones.
Yes, but I don't know. Tactical. What you seem to be suggesting is tactical support for Californian secession as a means of destabilizing U.S. imperialism. I think if you have Californian secession uncoupled from a larger program of, questioning the imperialist capitalist system, in which capital is exported from the wealthy companies to suck resources and labor power from the poor countries to make the wealthy countries richer. I think if you don't question that, you're just going to end up with a Californian empire and a U.S. empire. And they might be separate from each other.
Thank you, James Connolly. He said the same thing about Ireland.
Yes, he did. Well, not quite the same thing.
Well, something very, very similar.
Yes. I don't have a stance on California secessionism. I don't think we, as the Students for Justice in Palestine, have any kind of a stance on it. I don't think we're going to necessarily take one in the near future. But if the California secessionists are in solidarity with Palestine, then we're perfectly happy to be in solidarity with them.
That's what we're working on. Interesting thing about politics, you can start out with one movement supporting another without the other supporting it.
Yes.
And we do run into that. But it...
I'm not opposed to you. I just really don't know what your project is. I'd have to learn more.
Well, why not help us build the project?
First, I have to understand what it is.
Well, there's a couple of places you can look. One, of course, is our YouTube channel, Red Star Report, Voices of the California Nation. One is the official party, California National Party.
I'm aware of them. See, I think the California National Party is sort of what I'm talking about. It's this auxiliary of the Democrats, effectively, which appears to have this very radical, strange project of secession. But I think really, under the surface, there's very little going on there that challenges the hegemony of U.S. imperialist capital.
I'm not going to disagree with that. That's why I went back into the Peace and Freedom Party.
There you go.
And we're trying to win them over to California independence.
Interesting.
Because we don't see PFP expanding much beyond California. It exposes a divide even more than the CNP does. We have good relations with CNP, but they're definitely not socialist. I can tell you that from having been around them. There are socialists in it, and they quite often are in PFP. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is trying to win PFP, since we haven't been able thus far to achieve a pro-socialist consensus in CNP. They're social democrats at this point.
Yes. No, I agree.
Okay, we're trying instead to win PFP over to independence, because what's going to happen very soon when the things reach a boiling point in the U.S. Electoral politics, it's like all sound and no fury. Okay, it's like, do you know who Paul von Hindenburg was?
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of see Biden in that light, as effective as an anti-fascist as Paul von Hindenburg was in Germany.
Okay, so if Biden is the Hindenburg, then who is the Hitler?
The first two guesses don't count, do they?
I suppose not.
And he's not being effectively... Biden has handed it to him on a silver platter by being Israeli agent of influence. So here we are trying to counter all that. And the question we put is, okay, you know about the, what are they called? The cop cities?
Mm-hmm.
And you know who's training the U.S. cops?
The IDF.
Precisely.
We have reason to believe they're intending to build one near here,
Oh.
which we are in part protesting against. Our principal target is institutional, economic, and political connection to the state of Israel, but we would also like the university to explicitly disavow a Cop City campus in Santa Cruz County, which we believe is a plan that SCPD has in the works.
Ah. Hey, well, I don't know, but those slugs can be very useful. Banana slugs? I hear they're poisonous.
Very mildly. They don't kill you.
Nah, they don't kill you. What? You're kind of making your mom numb. Oh, okay. But, no, this is the first encampment I've seen here in NorCal.
Is that right? No, that's not right.
No, that I have seen.
Okay.
The reason that I saw it is because I'm a rideshare driver out on the road.
Yeah, good for you.
So,
It's important work.
thank you.
People need to get places.
Yeah, go places to do things. But, yeah, this is the first one that's clearly visible from the road. I know they got encampments up at Berkeley, and I think, don't quote me, at San Jose State.
Yeah.
But you can't see them from the roadways. You can
That's deliberate. We're trying to appeal to a wider base as well as just the students. You know,
I would say you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. I mean, we're anti-imperialists, right? We understand that the same system that profits off of genocide in Palestine profits off the exploitation of workers here. So,
That's the understanding of a socialist in the California Liberation Movement,
well,
too.
that's exactly right. So we're trying to appeal to and organize the broader masses of the working class to recognize the solidarity of people exploited by imperialist capital all over the world.
Yes, yes. And we would say that we are also a part of that project, the socialists in the California Liberation Movement. We're always trying to push it a little further to the left.
Well, you know,